What's going on here? The fasting expert just started and already caught 2 big fish, enjoying fresh sashimi like a pro. And his rival is just as impressive. He caught an entire mountain goat and started grilling it the moment the challenge began. The location for this survival challenge is Lake Turkana, the largest desert lake in the world. The terrain here is covered in rocks, gravel, and dust, making movement extremely difficult. Daytime temperatures usually range from 30 to 40 degrees Celsius, with scorching sunlight that makes the air feel suffocating. On top of that, food sources are extremely limited. Before we kick off the race, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of the thrilling survival adventures coming your way. Now let's get started. Ed's challenger this time is Matt, a 28-year-old full of youthful strength and speed. He's confident he'll come out on top. On the other hand, Ed is nearly 50, and while his speed and stamina may not be what they once were, his survival experience is absolutely unmatched. The total distance to the finish line this time is a staggering 100 kilometers. They'll have to cross a rugged area filled with jagged volcanic rocks, journey through a dry, barren desert, pass through a small oasis, and finally make their way toward the black mountain looming ahead. On top of that, the crocodiles lurking in the lake pose a serious threat as well. At the signal, both contestants begin the challenge, rushing toward the lake to quickly cross to the other side. Matt has a smooth start using his strength. He rows his raft swiftly and reaches the far shore in no time. In contrast, Ed runs into serious trouble while paddling. His raft begins to sink under his weight. Not wanting to fall too far behind, he quickly grabs a log nearby and secures it to the raft, giving it a bit of extra buoyancy. With that quick fix, he manages to set off successfully. But after just a short distance, Ed's raft starts to sink again. Looks like it's going to be a while before our tough old guy finally makes it to shore. Matt is already on the other side of the lake, moving quickly. After a while, he stumbles upon a fishing net. He cuts off a small piece to carry with him just in case it comes in handy later. From a distance, he spots a crocodile lurking in the water and starts to wonder, could there be some crocodile eggs nearby? He grabs a stick and begins probing the ground. This soft, flat type of soil is often where crocodiles build their nests. Sure enough, he strikes gold crocodile eggs. Finding food this early gives Matt a huge advantage and a big confidence boost as he pushes ahead, determined to win. Next, he begins his climb up the rugged volcanic hill. Living up to his nickname, the Desert Camel, Matt powers through without stopping to rest, a truly impressive feat. After a while, he reaches the summit. From up there, he can already see the looming black mountain in the distance, and he also notices Ed finally reaching the far shore of the lake. After a struggle with the raft, Ed finally makes it to the shore. From his position, he can see Matt already on top of the hill. His opponent has gotten quite a head start, but this doesn't worry Ed at all. He quickly starts planning his next move. The first thing on his list is to find food. He heads over to a palm tree, harvesting a few dry leaves, and using the survival techniques taught to him by locals, he fashions a fishing basket from the plant. Once it's ready, he finds a shady spot to test it out. To his surprise, after just 4 attempts, he successfully catches a big fish. Not long after, he catches another one. His excitement is indescribable, and he decides to store enough dried fish to last him for 3 days before continuing his journey. But first, he can't resist enjoying some fresh sashimi. Its soft, sweet taste is absolutely perfect. Feeling full and satisfied, Ed begins setting up his shelter, using the rocky shore behind him as a natural foundation. He arranges the stones into a small circle just big enough for him to lie down in. Next, he uses wood and some fish bones to craft a makeshift fish hook, attaching leftover food as bait. He carefully lowers the hook into the lake, securing the other end of the line to his toe. This way, he can feel any movement when a fish bites, allowing him to react quickly and pull in his catch. Meanwhile, Matt arrived at the lava fields, but aside from a few crocodile eggs he had on him, he had no other food sources. The surrounding environment was harsh and barren, offering no food, and he was face to face with death itself. After walking for a while, the sun began to set. He was lucky to find a shaded, safe spot among the lava rocks and lay down there. Just when he wanted to replenish his energy, he cracked open an egg, only to discover that the small crocodiles had hatched inside. However, Due to the drought, they had all dried up. What bad luck. All his efforts searching for food turned out to be in vain. It seemed like tonight he would have to go to sleep hungry. As night fell and Ed was sleeping, the fishing line started to move. He quickly pulled it in, and to his surprise, he had caught a massive salmon. It seemed that this time, Lady Luck was on his side. The next morning, Matt woke up with a hungry stomach and a dry throat. His first priority was to find a water source, or he'd have to end the challenge right there. But looking around, there were no signs of water anywhere. However, in the distance, he spotted a lot of trees, which could indicate the presence of water nearby. Without thinking much, he picked up the pace and ran towards them. After a while, he arrived at the spot, where tall, green reed plants surrounded the area, a clear sign that water was close. Moments later, a fresh water pond appeared before his eyes. Without hesitation, he dove into the water like a child, feeling the coolness wash over him. All the aches and pains in his body seemed to vanish. He decided to spend the night there, but to keep wild animals away, he used thorny branches to create a makeshift barrier around his sleeping area to ensure his safety. After waking up, Ed used his teeth to peel the fish skin off. He planned to use the fish skin to make a simple water pouch. Then, he went to the lake and filled up a bottle with water. As for the remaining fish meat, he ate it raw. He quickly packed up his belongings and hit the road. Before long, the sun was already setting. Since he was in the desert, he had no choice but to take shelter in a rocky crevice and spend the night there. Day 3 has arrived, and Ed is trekking through the desert under scorching heat exceeding 40 degrees Celsius. His top priority now is to escape this hellish place and find a water source. Along the way, he spots a few camels and decides to follow them. From a distance, he sees a cluster of green trees and quickly heads in that direction, hoping to find water. But unfortunately for our guy, the area is nothing but sand, rocks, and a dry, lifeless riverbed. Tough luck for Ed this time. In contrast to Ed, Matt was having a much smoother time. He even managed to catch a few small crabs, tiny but packed with protein. While heading back to camp, he suddenly noticed a few drops of blood on the ground. Looking up, he spotted the carcass of a goat hanging above. It was likely the lunch of a leopard, but perhaps the predator had gone off to drink water, leaving the goat behind for now. Wasting no time, Matt quickly built a ladder from tree branches to climb up and claim the leopard's gift. After half an hour of hard work, the goat was finally his. But now, he knew he had to get as far away from this spot as possible before the real owner returned. First, he cut the meat into bite-sized pieces. The remaining organs and meat were set aside to be smoked for longer preservation. After dividing everything up, he sat in his camp and began grilling the skewers. The distinctive aroma of goat meat filled the air, wafting straight into his nose. He felt like he had just stepped into paradise. The final stage of the challenge has arrived. At this point, Ed is rubbing some ash on his body to protect himself from the sun, preparing for the most treacherous part of the journey. As he picks up the pace, a steep cliff suddenly blocks his path forward. To descend safely, he grabs a sturdy piece of wood and slowly climbs down. At last, he reaches the ground safely. Matt, being far ahead of Ed, could clearly see the dark mountain looming in the distance. On the morning of day 5, Ed used every last ounce of his strength to run toward the dark mountain ahead. Meanwhile, Matt had already climbed over to the far side of the ridge. After such a grueling journey, it seemed like Ed would reach the finish line first, but suddenly, Matt appeared from behind the mountain, and the referee announced him as the winner. "It's okay, Ed. Win or lose, you'll always be my biggest hero."